Hey YouTube, welcome back to Dwayne's World. So are you interested in purchasing a brand new Wi-Fi sprinkler controller? Well, I got a brand new one I'll be hooking up and showing you guys today. You want to find out what it is? You better stay tuned. Guys, welcome back to season 5, episode 10 here on Dwayne's World. And I'm very excited about today's episode because Dwayne's World has partnered up again. That's right, again with ImoLaza. Now, ImoLaza was the sprinkler control manufacturer that I actually featured here on Dwayne's World on a prior video. You can go ahead and take a look at that video, but there has been some changes to my actual setup. So because of that new setup, Dwayne's World and ImoLaza partnered together, and I'm going to be installing a brand new Ultra. That's right, the Imolaza Ultra Smart Sprinkler Controller to replace the current one I have that's controlling my front lawn. Now, as we all know, irrigation is probably one of the most important things when it comes to anything as it relates to gardening or lawn care. You know, because of the fact that I live in California, we do not get a lot of rain in the part of California that I live. So therefore, I heavily rely on irrigation. And if I don't have the right setup, I am not going to get the right results. All right, so with all those things being said, let me take you over to the garage so that way we can unbox and install our new sprinkler controller. Thank you to the wonderful people over at ImoLaza. All right, guys, so before we do the installation on the ImoLaza Ultra Indoor Outdoor Smart Sprinkler Controller, let's go ahead and get it unboxed here and see what we have. All right, so here we have some literature here, which also does include a QR code that you'll be able to get all of the information you may need. Or if you have any questions or problems, you can reach out to the people at ImoLaza through that QR code. Then we have our manual, as you guys can see here. Then we also have some stickers here. That way you can label your wiring, stay nice and organized as it relates to each of your zones on your system. Then we have a quick wiring diagram here, as you guys can see. And then the mounting templates, that way we can get all of our holes pre-drilled, and that way we'll be good to go once we install the actual controller. Here we have the ImoLaza sprinkler controller. I do like the fact that it is in this protective case here, meaning this can be mounted either inside or outside. So if you are going to plan on mounting this on the outside of your home, it does have this weather resistant box here that's going to keep everything nice and safe against the elements. Now we'll go ahead and just open this up here. There we go. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and take off this bottom cover here. Inside here, we do have our power cable, which will actually splice together in the unit here. Then we have some wire ties, as you guys can see here, a key to be able to lock the unit if you do have this outside or in an area where you do need to protect it, as well as your mounting hardware, as you guys can see there, along with a couple of zip ties, so that way you can keep everything nice and tidy. All right, so now that we got everything kind of unboxed here, let's go ahead and head over to where I'm going to mount the controller. So, all right, guys, so this is what we'll be replacing today. This is an older unit here that I'll be upgrading to the ImoLaza Smart Sprinkler Controller. Now, if you guys watched my first video, I did install an ImoLaza Sprinkler Controller right here. I did have to relocate it, though, and I'll show you that a little bit later in the video and where I decided to move it to and why I needed to move it. Now, one thing I'll just point out here is I do have this run of wires here. Now, this is no longer active, and I'll show you why that is. However, I just chose to keep it there in case I ever need to come back to it in the future. But first things first, let's go ahead and remove that unit from the wall. All right, so to basically get the old controller out here, I'm going to go ahead and just disconnect some of the existing wiring here. There we go. Now all of my wires are out of the way. Now I just need to remove a couple of those mounting screws. All right, guys, so now that I got the controller off the wall here, one of the things I noticed is the wiring here was probably going to be too short if I left it in the same position here. So I'm going to have to mount my controller a little bit lower, not a big deal, but I did have to take that PVC pipe off the wall. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and that way I'll have a little bit more wire that I'll be able to expose to be able to feed it and be able to do all of my hookups. So with that, let me get my template, and then we can go ahead and start drilling some holes. All right. So I think I'm going to kind of use the outline here of the drywall tape to kind of mount it. I think that'll probably be good about there. Let me go ahead and mark this hole first. Get that one drilled first, and I'll show you why. Then I'm going to go ahead and just put in my wall anchor here. Perfect. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually just secure this template to the wall. Because that way I can grab my level and kind of line everything up. That looks pretty good right there. And mark my holes. Perfect. All right, so now I'll go ahead and drill one hole here. Another one here. All right, and then we can put our anchors in. There we go. All right, so this top screw here, actually, you're going to put the screw in first because the controller on the back side is going to be mounted right there. So this one gets mounted from the outside. The other 3 screws, you're going to mount from inside the controller. All right, there we go. All right, now I got the other holes here. Good. Well, this first screw here, and the only reason why I'm doing the middle one first, and I'll leave it a little bit loose just in case I need to a bit of play in order to get the other 2 screws in there. All right, guys, one of the things I was noticing, my PVC pipe actually lines up to this hole better than this hole here. This one was already taken out by the manufacturer, but I'm going to go ahead and just poke a hole right here, and that way we'll be good to go. It's going to line up much cleaner. That way I can keep my PVC pipe straight, and it'll look much cleaner as far as the installation. All right, guys, actually what I'm going to do is just use a little tapered drill bit. There we go. All right, let me just use another clamp here. Be able to secure my PVC. There we go. All right, guys, so for this particular installation today, I'll be using 4 wires from my 9-wire sprinkler controller wire. All right, guys, so I know when you're looking at all these ports here, it can look a little bit intimidating, but trust me, the app will walk you through it all. It's not complicated at all. The ones that I'm most familiar with that I tend to use the most are your actual zone hookups here, which you have 1 through 12. Your common wire, you have 2 ports there. You also have a master control valve hookup here. So if your system is controlled by a solenoid that activates the water pressure to your actual unit, that is where that hookup will go there. Now you also do have these 2 ports here, which are for different sensors, if you happen to have those with your individual system. You also have an additional power hookup here. But for our power, we're going to go ahead and just attach these here. That's directly tied into the unit, and it will run it to our outlet, and that will basically power the unit. So with that, let me go ahead and label these wires here so I know what I have, and we'll be good to go. All right, guys, so I have everything labeled here. Now I'm going to go ahead and just start hooking up my wiring. Start by installing the common cable first. And all these just tighten down with the standard Phillips screwdriver. All right, now that we have the common wire hooked up, we're going to go ahead and just attach each of our individual zones, starting with zone number 1. Then zone number 2. All right, guys, so the power installation is very straightforward. All you're doing is connecting color to color. All right, so the system does have wire ties. However, I like to use these little Wago adapters whenever I'm doing any type of electrical work. Makes for a very, very clean installation. Basically, I'm just going to start by routing the wires through this particular hole here. There we go. Start making all my connections. All you're doing, put it through one side there. Once the wire's fed, click down, good to go. Come over to the opposite, you put the other half. of the white cable. And just like that, one connection done. All right, well that one I went in and just shortened it just slightly, a little bit too long. But okay, good on one side there. Connected there. Okay, just plug in one side, click it down, come back to the other side, feed it through, click it down, just like that. So now what we can do is the system also does have a little nice cover plate here, so we can hide all of that wiring. There we go. Got our screw. And we'll go ahead and just tighten it down. Guys, as you guys can see here, we now have power to the unit. You're going to want to go ahead and download the app. I'll walk you through how to set it up. The great thing about the ImoLaza product is I have two controllers now, and I can control both of them with the single app. All right, guys, so that's pretty much how you install the unit. Now, if you're interested in purchasing one of these ImoLaza controllers, you can find them on Amazon. They come in a variety of different models, or you can reach out to ImoLaza directly and be able to find the right controller that would work for your particular application. All right, so with that, let me go ahead and walk you guys through the app now and how you actually set up and program the ImoLaza controller. All right, guys, so one of the first things you want to do is go into the App Store, and you're going to type in ImoLaza, or you can use the QR code, and it'll bring you to the app. Now, as you guys can see here, since I already installed the ImoLaza app on my particular phone, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up here. All right, so the first thing you're going to do after you have your app installed is you're going to go ahead and create account. You go ahead and click Create Account at the bottom of the screen. All right, and then you're going to go ahead and just put in all your information. Go ahead and click Create Account, and then you'll be all set to go. All right, and then when you're back at the login screen, you go ahead and type in your email address and password, and that way you can log in to the ImoLaza app. All right, now that you have the app installed and you're all logged in, you're going to go ahead and just hit the plus sign, the top right-hand part of the screen, to be able to add your controller. You're going to want to make sure you enable the Bluetooth option. Then you go ahead and click Next, at which time you'll be able to find your sprinkler controller, as you guys can see there. Then you go ahead and click on that. Then, as you guys can see here, the app now is installing my sprinkler controller into my profile. And at this point, you want to go ahead and name the actual controller if you choose to. You can go ahead and leave it to the default name, which I'll go ahead and do just for this video. All right, and now it's time to connect your sprinkler controller to your Wi-Fi network. Now, you do want to make sure whatever Wi-Fi network you're connecting your controller to is the same Wi-Fi network you are on when you're setting up this app. All right, and now you're going to go ahead and enable your location services. You're then going to go ahead and select your Wi-Fi network. And then after you've inputted your Wi-Fi password, it'll go ahead and connect to your Wi-Fi network. Right, then from here, it's going to want to know your actual address. And it's important that it actually knows where you are because of the fact that this system does connect to your closest weather monitoring systems, so that way you get the most accurate, up-to-date information. Right, and then from here, the system is going to walk us through both testing and or disabling any particular zones. And basically, you'll use the disable option whenever you have more zones on your controller than you physically have in your particular irrigation system. But for this first zone here, I'm going to go ahead and next. And then at the bottom of the screen, you'll see it allows me to now test that particular zone. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and test out my first zone here. And the app is now going to ask me a series of questions. It asks me how long I want to do the test for and the name of that actual zone. Go ahead and type it in here, and I'll go ahead and just choose front lawn. And then from there, if I choose to, I can go ahead and add a picture of that particular zone. And from there, it's going to ask me what type of grass I have, if I know what the root zone depth is, as well as the crop coefficient. Then it's asked me specific to the zone, what type of actual sprinklers I'm using. And in my particular case, I am going to choose the rotary option. And then from there, it's going to ask me what type of soil composition I have. And in my particular case, I'm going to choose the clay option. And now I'm going to tell the system how much sun in that particular zone I get a day. Also, whether that area is on a particular slope. And how much square footage is in that particular zone. All right, so basically from there, you're going to go ahead and do that with each individual zone. All right, guys, and from this home screen, I just want to show you guys how to do a quick watering cycle if you just want to be able to test your system or you want to just run a quick zone. I'm going to go ahead and select my front lawn here, select the duration of that particular run. I'm going to go ahead and hit the play button, and as you guys can see, everything looks to be in order. If I want to go ahead and stop the particular zone before the timer is up, go ahead and hit the little stop button there. Right, and then now we'll go ahead and jump into the programming of the unit, and we'll go ahead and click schedule at the bottom of the screen here. It's going to bring up a calendar, and then we're going to basically create our programming schedule. And from this screen, you can see you have a couple different options. If you have a brand new lawn you're setting up, or you want to pick a fixed schedule, or you can choose the smart schedule, which I'm going to do for this example. And then from there, you're going to select all the applicable zones for that particular schedule. For example here, I'm just going to have the one zone, but most systems will have more than just the one individual zone. All right, and the next option really here has to do with soaking. Now, in a lot of cases, your lawn only can accept so much water during a given cycle. Now, this allows you to kind of break that cycle up or choose no cycle, and we're going to go ahead and just select the option here. And in this next screen here, you're basically telling the system whether or not you want to skip a cycle anytime it is freezing of a certain temperature or lower, and or whether or not you have extremely windy conditions. Right, and then from there, you're going to go ahead and basically tell the system what days of the week you want your system to run. Now, in this particular setup, where I'm using the smart irrigation setup, it is going to require that you select a minimum of 4 days. And because of the example there, I only showed 3 days. I need to now go back and add a 4th day for this schedule to actually take. Right, and then from there, we're going to basically tell the system when we want this program to actually start and when we want it to actually expire. For right now, we're going to go ahead and actually choose no expiration. And then in this next screen here, you're basically going to tell the system when you want the program to actually run on each of the days you've selected. Then we're going to go ahead and just name the schedule, and I'm just going to name it summer schedule, just because of the fact that I may change it as we go into the winter. And then from there, we are all set to go, and this program is now ready for use. All right, guys, so what you're looking at here is my ImoLaza sprinkler controller that I originally featured on my first video where I did this install inside my garage. Now, I had to change my setup, and the reason why I had to change my setup is, let me go ahead and take you out front here and kind of explain what happened. All right, guys, so on this part of my home here, I actually recently had some concrete work done. And underneath this slab used to lie my sprinkler controller, and it probably still does. However, it must have been cut when the concrete guys were cleaning out the area, and unfortunately, they never used PVC pipe when they buried the line originally. Now that line pretty much extends from here all the way over to my garage and past this fence here. And then that sprinkler wire from the backside of that fence basically runs all the way here up to right here. And this is basically what was plugged in to every one of my zones. But because of the fact that I had that issue, I went in and went with the new setup. Utilizing the existing controller, I went ahead and added the ImoLaza outdoor sprinkler box. And what's really nice about the outdoor box, it basically allows you to adapt an indoor version to an outdoor version. And on the back side of this controller here is an actual outlet that does need power supplied to it. And basically what I did is I ran power from the inside of my house coming out, and basically added this outlet, as I kind of figured always can use an extra outlet outside, teed off of that, and that is what powers my controller. And then I simply just ran a new sprinkler control wire to each of the actual zones, and now I'm all set up. All right, guys, so I think that's going to about do it for me here on Dwayne's World today. And again, I just want to thank the people over at ImoLaza for really allowing me to be able to try out one of their newest controllers. You know, I got to say, I am just as happy with this controller as I am my previous controller. And that's one of the things I really like, is because of the fact that it's all through Wi-Fi and all through an app, I can now control both controllers with a single app. And I absolutely love that. If I chose to go with a different manufacturer, that wouldn't have been the case. But why choose a different manufacturer when I'm very happy and satisfied with the ImoLaza product that they offer? You might as well stick with the same brand, stick with what you know works best. And again, I cannot say enough good things about this particular controller, and I would highly, highly recommend it if you're in the market for purchasing one of these controllers. Now remember, regardless of what type of controller you go with, and regardless of what type of programming you set it up with, the most important thing you can do for your irrigation system is to be excellent and party on.